Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us in this webinar today, where we will be having conversation with our very own PPO holders from SCMHRD. A summer internship is an integral part of every student's MBA journey, and it serves as a stepping stone to the corporate world. PPOs or pre-placement offers are offered by organizations prior to the final placements. These job offers are extended to students who as interns manage to excel during their stints. They can also be offered through competition conducted by these organizations to find the right fit for their company. A pre-placement offer stands as a testimony to the intern's grit and passion. It reflects their go-getter attitude and will to succeed under any given circumstances. According to the past placement data, nearly 40% of the batch has managed to bag PPO offers every year. Today, we have 5 of such gems with us. We'll go ahead and introduce them.
Okay, thank you so much. And starting with Amey. Amey is a machine learning enthusiast with a few years of work experience in analytics product development. He joined business analytics program at SCMHRD. He has successfully bagged PPO from Adobe via summer internship. He is a witty and jolly person who loves to count memories and not calories. Moving on to Aditya. Aditya is a graduate in urban and regional planning. He is a fresher. He is currently pursuing MBA in infrastructure development and management from SCMHRD. He has interned at EY and converted a PPI at Flipkart through corporate case study competition. Vishal is an electronics and communication engineer with a work ex of 2.5 years at Johnson Controls India. He is from marketing specialization. Last summer, he interned with Nivea and Bhadkamkar. He enjoys making DIY project and has been trying out hydroponics for last couple of years. Dimple is an instrumentation and control engineer who has worked as an administration manager for a private security firm. She is professionally trained classical dancer who has worked with L'Oreal and Livon as a model during her undergraduation. She is currently pursuing MBA in human resources. She has backed PPO from ITC Limited via her summer internship. Last but not the least, we have Himanshu Shah. He is computer science engineering graduate. He worked at EY as data scientist for 2 years. He is pursuing MBA in finance from SCMHRD and has interned with ICICI Bank last summer. By having right mixture of joviality and sincerity, he backed PPO and is ready to experience yet another stint at a corporate journey. Thank you all for joining us today. Without further ado, I would like to start the discussion. Since all of you have interned at a well-reputed organization, which are well-known, the first question which comes to mind is, can you tell us something about the company in which you interned it and some of the key learnings during the course of your summer internship?
Yeah, sure. So I interned with Adobe. So I think everyone knows what Adobe is. So Adobe has a lot of digital products, and it ranges in a wide variety from digital media to digital experiences. Uh, I particularly interned in a sales operations BU. So this was related to the sales planning of the entire range of Adobe products. Coming to the key learnings, I would say, since if you look at the nature of the internship, it's just a 2 or 3 month internship that you have to complete. So look at that. First thing is the adaptability, because once you go into an organization, you need to understand the core business that the organization is particularly handling, and then understanding the actual problem set, understanding the the problem statement that you have been given, and then trying to deliver a solution on that. So I think firstly adaptability is one key aspect, and secondly I think accountability holds a very important factor here, because while you're doing a the internship, what really counts is how reliable and accountable you are towards your project. I think these two things would stand out for me.
Right. So actually, before we start to talking about how you bagged your PPOs and all about that, can you shed some light on how you handled and overcame the pressure and stress, which is of course part and parcel of the entire internship process?
So I interned with ITC, and being in FMCG, I did not know which role I was going to be offered as an intern. And to my surprise, I was offered a very new segment for ITC, which is a Central Projects Organization. So how I overcame the stress was to not actually focus on what is going to be there for me. Just being preparing myself for whatever comes in my way. I will deliver my best. I will deliver the best of my to the best of my abilities. So don't go with a preconceived notion from my end that how the job is going to be like until and unless there is a proper charter given to you about what your project is. Study your project charter very much in detail. Gather points about the project charter. Think through what your project is going to look like. Have a vision in your mind about the project entirely. Obviously, you're not going to get a very clear picture at the first week of the internship. So, patience is the key and consistency is the key. So that is how you will not be stressed about your projects when you have your milestones set for you. How are you going to execute your project week by week? Because it's going to be a long journey and every day is going to be as difficult as it gets. So just take one day at a time, and that's how you will distribute your stress over the period of 8 to 9 weeks, whatever your internship would be, rather than actually boiling it down to just a couple of weeks.
Yeah, so adding to Dimple's point and the FMCG segment, so I interned with Nivea and it was a sales internship. So apart from all the other stress that we usually have for the internship, the difficulty this time was the pandemic. And being at the sales internship, understanding the market and getting together with the team from different states was a very difficult task. So at times, you had to pose as the ASM from another state to all the other salesmen to get work done from them. You sometimes had to become a member from the central management team itself. So all these things were needed to actually get work done from when you were sitting at home in a virtual mode. Apart from that, everything that Dimple said was good for the internship. Everything was needed, and I think it was a very decent one compared to all the difficulties that we still had during the pandemic.
Uh, yeah, I would like to add few more points over this. What Dimple and Vishal have said, they have absolutely covered all the points which is required for an intern. But apart from that, I did my internship in ICICI, and for me, finance was I can say a new because my background was an engineering student. So there might arise a time when you are not very well comprehended when it comes to technical ability. So at that point of time, you get stressed, you get nervous, of course. But what you have to do is that as you move along your way, you get to know your buddy, you get to know your mentors, as well as you know your peers as well, your fellow interns. So you just need to pick the right set of people who are going to motivate you, who are going to guide you to sail you through this journey. This is how your stress, your pressures, everything gets sorted out.
Thank you so much, Himanshu. So we have heard how you managed your pressure and stress. And now we know that since MBA Summers internship is one crucial juncture. So what qualities did you had that made you outshine others or made you shine in your internship, which bring the best out of you? And how was the curriculum of SCMHRD helpful in preparing you for your internship experience? Basically, how you perform there. What was some of the things which SCMHRD offered which helped you outshine other people there or shine or be the best of you?
If I'll take that, yeah. So, looking at the nature of my internship, it was slightly a technical one, though it was business oriented towards the sales operations role. But what helped me was basically the project that I did. It was completely based on two set of models that were taught to us during the first semester. So there was a subject called as quantitative methods and machine learning. So these two subjects, actually set the foundation for me during my internship. And also, the solution that I had proposed to the management at Adobe, with the help of these two particular models, it actually made a huge impact, because coming from an academia point of view, I was able to implement these two models in a actual business setup. So I think the curriculum at SRD for business analytics, I'll talk about. So that really helped me a lot.
Yeah, so adding to Amey's point, my internship was in the infrastructure branch of ITC, which is Central Projects Organization. So basically, to understand infrastructure organization, it was very remotely related to HR. although my specialization is HR, my project was more related to infrastructure and development. So I got in touch with infrastructure development and management seniors from SCMHRD and to build my base or my foundation regarding what my project should look like, or to give me a broader vision about how it goes about. So very unlikely that it happened, but SMHRD seniors would play a very important role in this one. And also, my internship had a segment where I had to do learning and development for the infrastructure part of it. So SMHRD's curriculum about learning and development is pretty amazing. It covers up all the aspects that you need to know theoretically, and to actually implement in a practical sense during our classes and presentation has helped me a lot to gain perspective about actually what is executable on an organizational level rather than only theories.
Right. And being a student myself, I completely agree that the curriculum is very wholesome and inclusive. And the college itself offers so many opportunities. Speaking about the case study competitions itself, there are so many case study competitions from reputed companies that we get a chance to participate in, and which also offers PPIs. Of course, among us, we have Aditya, who has managed to convert that PPI into his, placement offer. Aditya, would you like to share your experience?
Sure, Apurva. So speaking about the case study competitions, these are very rigorous ones. And I would suggest, I would say this, that these competitions give you a management consulting perspective, which you might be in required when you are in future, when you get into those leadership positions, or when you get into positions wherein you have to take these decisions, timely decisions, I would say. That's when you might be requiring all these skills which you might develop through the course of your case study competitions. And internships do help in developing a vision, or in having a proper methodology to ace these competitions. And one such competition was my Flipkart Wired, wherein we were, me and my team, we were working on a supply chain track, and wherein we were semi-finalists for from the college. And yeah, we were given an opportunity, PP opportunity, and wherein through this opportunity, I was given a great offer from Flipkart.
Thank you, Aditya. That was great to hear. I think the aspirants might have understood how important case study competitions are apart from just the internships. So now tell me, of course, as aspirants, when I see myself 1 year back, our main goal was to, as soon as we enter the college, the main goal is to get a summer internship in a very good company. And later on, the goal is to convert it into a PPO. So what mindset do you think that they should possess to cross this victory line? Because not everyone, is able to bag a PPO. So what do you think should be the mindset of an aspirant as of now?
Yeah, so if I may take that question, I think having a very practical mindset is something important. I feel looking at the sales internship that I did, you should very quickly be able to understand which is a solution that is very practical, because you have only 2 months of time. And when it comes to sales internship, you need to show some impact in numbers, without which a PPO is really difficult in a sales internship. So understanding which is practical, understanding which can be scaled up in the future. Obviously, you will have to show some impact in the 2 months, and after that, the company should be able to scale it up in the future. And they should also have an impact that you should give them an impact that you will be the one who will come back and take the project up when you're joining them back. Apart from this, you should also be in a position to identify the risks beforehand. So that's something that's really important, that at times we forget ourselves. So I think these are few important things to get a PPO.
Adding to that, a long and short of what my MBA journey has been till date is opportunities don't happen, you create them. And also daily small improvements in how you execute your things, how you articulate your thoughts will play a major role, and over time they will lead to stunning results. You won't see the improvement daily, but if you work towards yourself on a daily basis, definitely it will lead to stunning results, because I cannot emphasize it enough how important consistency is in this journey.
Thank you so much, Dimple. I heard you talked about the MBA journey. So we have a question around it, that what an aspirant who want to pursue a particular specialization can expect from their upcoming 2-year MBA journey. Because since if you are an aspirant, you don't have a fair idea of what MBA course is going to be or what all things we can expect. So if I want to pursue MBA in a particular specialization for per se human resources, what can they expect from their upcoming 2 years journey?
So different specializations will have their different journeys, but to generalize it in a manner, obviously your past experiences are going to play a role. Everyone comes from a very diverse background, have their particular mindset about how it is going to look like. But it's going to be a mix of all of it, a diverse experience for all of you, because the first, I think first 2 semesters are common, you have common subjects, and you need to learn about other specializations as well, because they are very interrelated to your how do I put it, because you don't know where do you land up your summer internship. So what skill sets would you be needing? Would you be requiring some prior knowledge of marketing, some prior knowledge of infrastructure, some prior knowledge of uh, finance? You don't know. So you need to be a well-rounded individual when you enter the industry. And the first exposure you get as an individual for an industry is through your summer internship. And that is how your journey begins there from a corporate. Obviously, people have work experiences, but MBA in altogether would be a different ball game for all of us. And this is how we are ought to approach it, being prepared for it, learning about all the aspects that we can, because learning curve is going to be the most important one here.
Also, I would like to add few points with respect to finance specialization. Uh, like if I go back 2 years, I was very much worried that I am being an engineer. How would I sail through the finance specialization? Because and there's a fear which is prevailing in aspirants as well right now. But to be honest, the curriculum at SCMHRD is designed in such a way that each and every individual starts from scratch. Like there is definitely what Dimple has said, that the diverse background helps. But even if you don't possess any relevant work experience or any relevant, I can say, the degree, you are going to start from zero, and you're going to learn things gradually before entering into your industry. That is 1 year. This organization, this institute ensures that you are well versed in your subject course so that you can work over there. So yes, the only thing which you require is the dedication and the motivation to learn that particular specialization. So that's it.
Right. So I think picking up from what Himanshu said, it's doesn't depend from where you come. At the end of the day, everyone starts from scratch here. So again, talking about the business analytics course, I mean, usually perceived as a very technical course. But if you have to take it from me, the curriculum is so well designed and in line with what the requirement in the industries are, that it will give you a perfect blend of the technical subjects in terms of Python or machine learning. As well, it will help you prepare the other subjects also, like marketing, finance, HR. So the blend of all these subjects is viewed in such a way that you are industry ready. And also, speaking of one aspect that is out there in the industry, is about the demand for people with technical skills or people who can handle data well. So that particular aspect of business analytics really helps you prepare well in the 2 years at SCMHRD.
I think very rightly put. It doesn't matter whether you have any work experience or you don't, or you have a work experience from something that is irrelevant to what specialization you're taking up. You learn from scratch, and the institute does help you and guide you in, pursuing whatever you have chosen. Now, tell me, batch of 2022 has indeed had a very, roller coaster kind of journey, because you all started itself with an online mode of education and then switched back to offline. And I don't know what times, I mean, looking at the times that we don't know how it's going to go back again. But how would you like to sum up your life at SCMHRD?
Okay, well, Apurva, I can take up this. So as you rightly mentioned, it was a roller coaster ride for us. it was neither easy for any of us to have an online thing sitting 12 to 16 hours a day straight in front of the laptops, staring the screen. It was never easy for us. So, but yeah, I would say it was fun enough to get connected with your peers, have a good network with your batchmates, and wherein this helped every one of us to have us to get connected to people with similar mindsets and grow together or excel together in whatever we are doing right now. So yeah, life at SCMHRD is very accelerating and very fun and rigorous as well.
So though it was very short, I feel we were very lucky to be at the campus for the last 3-4 months. It was the right time. It was really enjoying to meet people whom you were connected virtually over the last year. All of us were very different when we met each other here, and it was the right time when placements happened, and all of us could celebrate each other getting placed here. So we had a very good time on the campus in the last 3-4 months.
So yes, we have been a batch who has been very resilient because we started off our MBA online, and seeing the scenarios right now, I think we'll end it also online. So I'm just hoping that we find our closures because we have remained very resilient throughout our 2 years, and it has been an amazing journey, however short it was at SCMHRD.
Thank you so much, Dimple. Since we have all the aspirants who are giving their SNAP examination and who aspire to be in a college like SCMHRD, and one slot is already done, 2 attempts are left. So, is there any tips which you guys would like to give for their upcoming GE Pivot sessions? How they should prepare, or what are the things they should focus on in order to achieve the success?
I would like to take this up. So yes, firstly, what I would suggest the aspirants is that believe in yourself. You are going to face rejections throughout your life. That's not the end of your life. Be it not clearing the cutoff, be it not clearing a number of exams, not making to internship, not getting a PPO, etc., etc. This cribbing is going to go on, but yes, you have come a very, very long way in your life. Put that mindset, put all your dejections into your learnings, and then you are definitely going to succeed. Now, speaking about specifically the GE pivot round which you guys would be facing, I would like to suggest that be acquainted with all that is happening around you, all the general knowledge stuff and everything. We are living in such an era where there's a lot happening in economy as well as globally. Be acquainted with that, and yes, you are going to good to go.
I'll just add one more point to it. With respect to the PIs particularly, uh, it is not humanly possible to know everything. Okay, so even if you are asked a tough question that you don't know, be honest and be upfront about it that you surely don't know it at this point of time. But at the same time, you will make sure that when you go back from the panel, you go back from the interview, you will surely read up on that. So what happens is there itself you shows that you're attentive and you're going to learn a lot from what you don't know. And secondly, what happens is everyone comes from multiple online classes and where they have done a lot of mock GDs and mock PIs. What happens is you usually carry a template of answers and you just come and deliver it in front of the panel here. So if possible, try to keep yourself unique. uh, I would suggest, on a lighter note, don't use the word holistic here because that's what everyone does. So keep your profile unique in a way that you are able to differentiate the other template answers that everyone carries.
Yeah, one final suggestion from my end would be take one step at a time and stay calm throughout your processes. That would be helpful.
Thank you so much, Aditya. There is one more question which is directed to Amey. We have got it from the chat. So the question is, what type of profile Adobe considers for internships?
Yeah, so in terms of the profile, it's very relevant to the business requirement of that particular year. So during our times, me and my co-intern Sai, he came from a non-tech background. I came from a tech background. So it really does not matter what background you come from. Adobe as a whole is an organization which is very acceptable to a lot of profiles. So even if you are from a technical or non-technical background, it doesn't really matter as long as you have the ability to learn and deliver within the 2 or 3 months of the time that you have it there. I think that is more than enough.
Thank you
I
so
hope
much.
that answers.
Yes, yes. There is one question which is kind of relevant to this session, and he's asking, everyone says build your profile before GDPI, but what does actually building your profile mean? So, how do you kind of build your profile, or what does it actually mean?
I would like to take that up. Building your profile doesn't mean that you have to make your profile like everyone else's. It means making your profile unique. So at a glance, someone can remember if he comes across your profile. So for like if I come across 10 profiles, there might be a profile that caught my eye. I think I would be like if you want to build your profile, work on your things that you're actually passionate about. You can talk about in interviews. You can talk about how you went about it. It can be as simple as that you have been playing cricket for the past 12 years. It shows how consistent you are, how hardworking you are, and how determined you are, irrespective of the fact your life has changed in the past 10 years drastically and you still practice that sport. So there's no clue to how to build a perfect profile. Keep a profile should be a reflection of your individuality, basically. So you have your uniqueness to be talked about throughout the interview in front of the panel.
We have another question. What are the changes that you feel got in your personality after joining SCMHRD, and what specialization would you recommend?
So regarding the specialization, I think it's a very, very subjective thing that you will have to decide based on what your passion is, what you were interested in. You might have striken a chord with something if you have a work experience or if you've done a specific branch in your undergrad. It all depends on you. It's a very subjective question. I would suggest you to get in touch with a lot of people, understand what every specialization provides, what you're going to do after the 2 years that you're going to study that specialization, and then decide based on yourself. And the other part of the question, the changes that we see in ourselves, you understand a lot of different things. You'll have close friends suggesting the mistakes that you do. You'll find out a lot of things. You'll observe a lot of things when if you're a person who's getting out of home for the first time. You'll get to see a lot of new people. You'll understand a lot of things. You'll understand what you were strong at, what you were weak at, and you'll get to learn a lot out of this.
I think a little bit more to add on to the first part of the question is, after the 2 years of course, you'll surely come out as a very refined personality of what came into the SCMHRD or say an MBA program. So there are a lot of things like communication skills or interpersonal skills. There are a lot of things in where you are working in a team. So these kind of things are which you've not experienced before, but you are put through the rigor of all these things during the 2 years. So that actually helps, build a very good personality post MBA also.
Thank you so much, Amey. I have one question for Dimple. I have received it as direct message. So, Dimple, this is a question to you. So, the person is very confused whether she should opt for HR during pandemic, and what is the scope of HR in the coming future?
So very personal question. The confusion regarding taking up HR as a specialization is not very new. It was the same before pandemic as well. I think after pandemic scenarios for HR have changed drastically because HR has moved to strategic roles. And I think HR took the lead from the front during the pandemic because this was for the very first time people witnessed actually what strategic management HR is capable of during the pandemic. So I think this should not be a confusion after the pandemic have hit us and how the HR is operating during the pandemic. Even on a virtual setup, managing people, which is a task. And in a virtual setup, dealing with people has become more difficult. You don't know what is going on the other end at other person's life. Being empathetic towards them, and still making the company work, making the employees work enough to actually drive the company making profits is something that HR has proved over and over again for the past 2 to 3 years since we have been hit with the pandemic. So I think it would be a good option if you want to explore HR right now, because it has moved to a strategic end, and HR analytics has also come into picture if you are very much interested in the technical side of it.
Thank you, Dimple. There are actually 2, 3 questions which revolve around the same thing. What role does gap year play during the time of interviews, and does it in any way affect the selection of the candidate?
So I think as far as the business analytics goes, there is a basic requirement of couple of years of work ex. And what happens is from the time you are placed after your bachelor's, and then the time you start your exam preparation, or by the time you get admitted into a college, usually there is a time where you maintain a gap. So as long as you are able to defend the gap well and try to be productive during those particular months, it does answer your question that the gap does not really matter. Being able to show that something you've done something relevant to the course that you were expecting here, doing some certifications or doing or taking up some courses online, these can be some mechanisms to get away with the gap in your work ex and academics.
There are a few questions regarding whether next semester will be online or offline. So as of now, we can't comment. Looking at the scenario, it may fluctuate. Admission process will certainly be online. And just a reminder that 7th January, the registrations for SCMHRD is going to close. So if you haven't applied, you have to go to the SIU website, and where you have applied for SNAP examination, under that you have to select the course that you're interested in, SCMHRD, and pay the fees, and then you'll be eligible for taking part in the further admission process for this college. If there are more questions, you can post on the chat box. We'll be waiting here for a few more minutes. If you have any other queries relating that you want to ask them, we can definitely forward those questions.
Hello. Sorry to unmute because the chat is disabled. Do we have to select every specialization if we have selected the SCMHRD?
No, you don't have to. Once you've selected SCMHRD MBA core, you have registered for this college. You can select your specialization once you in the college.
Okay, so basically, we at this moment we have to just select SCMHRD.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, hey guys, I'm audible?
Yes, Harish.
Yeah, it's Gautam. So no problems there. So I think you missed one of my questions, so I'll be brief. So what I was trying to ask is, so let's say if we come into SCMHRD, let's say for the first year we are in the Genman division, right? So we aren't able to take up any HR, marketing, or operations or any of the other specifications. So before that, we get a summer internship. So let's say if a person wants to pursue HR in specific, what are the chances or odds that the person gets HR as an internship when he joins? So if you can just shed some light on that, I'd be definitely grateful.
Okay, so firstly, when you join SCMHRD, definitely you don't have to choose your specialization. But again, there is an intended specialization which you have to provide to the college. According to that, you are divided, and according to that only your companies will come and you will go for that role for summer internship. So it's not like if you are from HR, you will get a marketing internship. Definitely, you will get an internship for your specialization only. And then again, if you go into organization and then they have some different variation of that role, that is another thing.
Sure, thank you.
Yeah.
Hello guys, so this is Ripupajni, and my question to the panel is like, this is my second attempt. I have given SNAP exam in my previous year also, and now like I'm again preparing for it. So can you give some tips how to crack the GDPI process?
So this was already mentioned by Amey and Himanshu as well. So it's as simple as that. Stay well acquainted with what are happening around you. It could be the something related to your news, something related to stocks, finance, or some policies are coming up, some of these things, or something very in specific, or some kind of general stuff out there. And then be well updated with your profile, be well aware, and stay honest.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much.
Okay, then there is one more question. Do we have hybrid specialization like marketing and operations both? No, you have to choose one. There is one more question. Can you help regarding Snap quant preparation and from where to practice? So we have conducted several sessions informing you guys about what strategy you should follow or how to prepare each and every session. You can go to our YouTube link and definitely you can find session where we are briefing about each section individually. Then again, one general tips which we give is try to practice as many mocks as possible and analyze those mocks and see where you are lagging and try to improve in that area. So that way you can actually, enhance your performance or work better, score better.
For those of you all who are asking doubts regarding the GE Pivot, we will be conducting another regarding GE Pivot. So there we will solve your doubts in detail regarding the same. So stay tuned.
Who are given the most preference while selection of fresher or a work ex guy? It does not have a bias. If you are able to, as Amey I think already said, if you are able to justify, you are a fresher, so they will be asking question based on your graduation, and if you are able to answer those questions in a very good manner, then definitely you will be selected. And if you have work ex, the question will revolve around your work environment or what kind of work you did, and if you are able to justify that, then definitely you will be selected. So there is no bias as such in that term.
Hello. So I'd like to ask something regarding HR. Like I was also waitlisted last year, but couldn't perform that well to convert. So I was interested in HR analytics, and so I had a chat with few of the seniors, and they said that the roles in internship in HR analytics is very difficult to bag until and unless you had a prior experience in HR analytics kind of thing. So is it this case in SCMHRD also?
Okay, so I can talk about the internship opportunity which HR people have. I am pretty sure that if the company is coming and they have analytics role there for the internship, then you will be given the analytics role. Otherwise, whatever role is the company coming for, you will be getting that. Dimple, would you like to add any more insight to it since you are from HR specialization?
So there's as Aditya's already mentioned that there's no particular criteria that HR analytics role will not be offered. If the company is open to HR analytics, if it's looking for candidates for HR analytics, will definitely be offered that. And I think SCMHRD being one of the top 3 colleges for HR, I don't think if there are roles in the market for HR analytics, they won't come to SCMHRD. So you'll get ample of opportunities for HR analytics as well, because it's an expanding field. And in a couple of years, I am assuming HR analytics roles will be flourishing enough. So you will get enough opportunities to explore that domain as well.
Thank you so much, Dimple.
Yeah. Thanks, ma'am.
Hello.
Yes.
I'm Chandrama speaking. Actually, my doubt was that right now we have given we have selected SCHMRD for admission process, but the HR or any other specialization, when do we get to select? Like we ourselves get to select it, or the SCHMRD themselves give us according to the seats available?
So Chandrama, once you are in the college, you are asked which specialization would you like to opt. That is intended specialization, which you have to give in first semester. And according to that, you are then divided into batches. Okay. So it's totally up to you. You have to select on your own and the college will give you that specialization.
Okay, thank you.
There is one more question. Does the specialization play a role while getting a job in analytics or consulting related firm? Can a person get a job in similar field while being enrolled in general management program? So if any of you all can shed some light on this.
I think the answer remains the same. If there is an analytics related role, definitely any specialization which has to, any company from the specialization from which they want to hire, they will hire you. There is no such thing as per my knowledge that any specialization will hinder your kind of analytics or consulted related role here.
All right, I think we have come to the end of the session, and we have taken up quite a few questions as well. So before we close the session, I would like to thank all the seniors and the guests who joined us on behalf of the admissions and PR team. Thank you so much. This was indeed a very insightful session, not just for the aspirants, but even for us as first year students. We got a lot of insights on how, what all things are involved in an internship. While interning, how you handle stress and pressure, consistency and patience, definitely something that plays a major role while internship. And we also hope that we are able to convert our PPOs as well, like you all. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you to all the aspirants. Have a great evening.
Thank you, panelists, and thank you all the aspirants.